Welcome, welcome. We are live. Built Mogul. Join the club, baby. Hey. Told you we doing it different. When you make it out the all that opsa. Hey. We got a good show for y'all. This ain't the official music video of it. Of course you can see. This is just a montage I put together with some camera work I did. Told them, yeah, we built for this shit. Yeah. 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 Like dominoes. Yeah. Built up. Welcome, welcome everybody, get in. We got some good shit for you. We got some good content coming to you. Glad you stayed put. Glad you stayed put. Stop it. That's your limitation. Keep it grown. Hey, hey. Take a seat. This the show, y'all. We doing it like this. Follow script. Like a jit. For this. Yeah, I'm built for this. Built for this. Yeah, we built for this. Built Mogul, baby. Oh, yeah. We got some fire coming to you. We got some fire coming to you. We got some dope artists coming. We got dope beats, producers. We got dope engineers. Oh, I hit the mic. My bad. We got so much ready in store for y'all, man. Y'all don't even know. You don't even know. Y'all run that back? Let's run that back. Let's run that back. Let's run that back. Let's do the first verse. Hey. I gotta get some things set up anyway. Said you gotta make a stand? Yeah. Hear that one more time. Jumping down the street, call him out. You a fraud, cause you lying through your teeth. Just what you rapping on them beats. Referee, bitch, we pop off on the scene. That was 2017. Come and get me. Hey. I gotta tell y'all about that story soon. Look at these shots. This is the type of production we do here. We can get you right. We can get you right. Yeah. Yeah. Never told. Cause I'm built up from the cold. Weighing up 100,000. Quit that pocket watching. Running out of options. We built for this, baby. Built Mogul. We in the building. Welcome, 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 everyone. Go ahead, grab a seat, grab a little snack, because we're gonna be a while. One moment while I get the mood right. Get the mood right. Let me get the mood right for y'all. Appreciate everyone that will tune in. I know we started kind of late, but shoot, it is what it is. We chilling. We chilling. We not worried about that. We up. We up. Go ahead and get in with me. Go ahead and get in with me. We got a show for y'all, man. You already know what we doing. You know how we move here. You know how we move here. We got a good one called Make Me Vote. We're going to have a caller in anonymously. They're going to give me their breakdown on why I should vote, why I should care about voting, what their reasoning is. You know, if you got a reasoning, you want to drop it in the comment section, you can do that. I'm just, I'm feeling kind of, just, I don't even really want to be discussing this pretty much. I don't like election time because it's the only really thing that's getting, attention right now with a slew of other things. But we got, we gotta do our part. I understand. But this election, man, this election is just, it's like, why? Did Biden do anything to make us want him to stay? And is Trump going to do something so egregious and so horrendous that he's going to tear this country apart? We don't know. And honestly, I don't even want to participate. I don't even really want to participate in this process anymore. I'm discouraged. I just want to opt out. That's what I want to do. So y'all got to help me out, man. Y'all got to help me out. Make sure before you do that, before we get into it, definitely got to talk about the Still Collective. Definitely want to go over some of the new products that they have. See if they're streaming. Yep. Stream is back up. So, yeah, man. If you're a NBA fan, there's a lot of controversy going on. We got the Bron trade. We got the trade for Klay Thompson to Mavericks. Then we got Paul George to the Philadelphia, to the Sixers. That's a crazy one. Go ahead and join that Discord. Join the Still Collective and Built Mogul Discord. Keep up with all the latest trades, latest trends on the NBA and NFL sports watch. Like, join in with people that's already in there and have good conversations and, battle your points. So why your team is the best, why your player is the best or the worst or whatever it may be. Why LeBron is not the greatest or he is the greatest. Like we got all those type of conversations going in there right now. Go ahead and dive in there. Get yourself, comfy and good, and let's talk about some things. Check it up. Where the check at? Had to check the mic, make sure we're good. Turn the music up a little bit. But yeah, man, go ahead and grab your next collection so you can put it in your room, put it on your office, ride with it in the car. I don't care what you do with it. You want to show your favorite moments and you want people to see just how good those moments are and how much you value them. Go ahead, go to the Still Collective, get you that. It's waiting for you. If you want to put in an order, you already know you can send a comment that you would like to get. Put moment. Right? Type moment in your comment if you would like to get and receive the top 50 edition best plays of 2024. If you would like to receive these moments, join the Discord, subscribe, like the video, and guess what? You could win a free one. Still Collective will send you one personally for free. If you comment, subscribe, like the video, comment moment, subscribe and like the video, and I will give five collections out, no charge. You can hang it in your room, show it off to your friends. Creates a great aesthetic to like I got lights in my room. I got the strip lights. I got a it's like a crystal rock that lights up. It's pretty dope. The other lights, and then I got my moment on the wall. So now I can just, when I walk in, and the thing about the moment panel is motion censored, which is crazy. So as soon as you walk in the room, it cuts on instantly and starts playing. As soon as you leave, 30 seconds, 40 seconds go by, it cuts off. Saves energy, very efficient. I know this Jokic one gonna be hilarious because the way he plays is just like, okay. Look at that. Just no effort. But that's why we love him, man. That's why we love him, because he can just do it, make it look easy. Scoop. But yeah, we got a lot for you this show, man. I want y'all to check that out. Still Collective, go to their Twitch. You can watch this live right now. You can bring it up on your PlayStation, Xbox. Just download Twitch or download it on your phone, and you can play right there on your phone. But if you want the collection piece where you can hang it on a wall, travel with it, take it with you wherever you go, don't have to wait till they go live, because they'll shut this down. This was shut down all week last week. If you've been watching, it's been shut down all week. I got messages. So that's why you got to copy your moment now. Because soon as they take this down, you can't watch it. It's crazy. But yeah. Let's get into it. We got the election coming up. We got so many other things happening. We're going to talk about everything. But I want to get this out the way, because I want to kind of do this every Tuesday. Make me vote. Yes. Give me your reason of why we should all vote. Not even all vote. Why should I vote? Why me? Tell me why you think I should vote. It don't matter who I vote for. I don't even know. I don't care. I might close my eyes and just strike something. But tell me why I should vote. What's your reason? And I'm talking about the presidential election, local elections, stuff like that, state senators and commissioners and chief of police and all that. Yeah, I understand voting on that front, definitely. But, if you want to make that case too, or why we should vote on that front, you can. But I'm already voting there, so that's not what I'm already convinced on that. What I'm not convinced on is, why should I vote for either of these candidates when they're not doing anything that is benefiting me? I'm sorry. I mean, where the country is headed is where the country is headed. and maybe Biden will slow it down, but he can't save this country. If you think Biden can save the country, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. But you know, and if you think Trump can save the country, then you're sadly mistaken as well. You are sadly mistaken. And, you know, I hate it for you. I hate it for you. But, you know, everyone is going to do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. That's cool. But, you know, I wanted to basically just have a quick chat. Just a quick chat with you guys. So let's do this. Let's do this. We got a caller.
Days ahead of the second round of the French legislative elections.
I don't care. We got a caller that's anonymously calling in right now, and they want to challenge what I'm saying right now. So, hold on, let me get them in here. All right, we got an anonymous caller. Let's go ahead and get him in here. And cue music. All right, caller, can you hear me? Why should I vote? Make me vote. Why?
Your reasoning was we're about to have monarchy anyway or something like that. Dictatorship anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you want... Joe Biden has already came out and said he's going to respect the limits of his perceived power of the office of the United States and presidency. Wouldn't you rather someone that's going to respect the limits than someone that's going to run straight over the limits? Ain't no telling what Trump will do. He knows going into the office that he can do anything he wants to do, and it's not going to be anybody this time that's going to tell him no. So,
Why should I?
Monarchy. Would you want? Joe Biden has already came out and said power of the office of the United States and presidency. Wouldn't you rather someone that's going to respect the limits than someone that's going to run straight over the limits? Ain't no telling what Trump will do. He knows going into the office that he can do anything he wants to do, and it's not going to be anybody this time that's going to tell him no. So, there was reports that in his first presidency, Trump would order people to be killed, just all at will.
Who do you order to be killed?
And people just didn't listen to him. Now you're going to have people there that will listen to him. Like, there's no telling what Trump is going to do. He already has verbally promised that he will round up 11 million people and try to deport them, you know, and mistakes will be made. You don't round up 11 million people and put them out of the country without accidentally getting American citizens also. You don't round up 11 million people and think you're just going to expunge them from your country immediately. It doesn't work like that. You're going to have to process them, you're going to have to hold them, and you're going to have to, you know, keep them in a camp, a concentrated camp, with where they were weight processing.
Well,
You in the concentration camps? I don't.
I mean, I won't be in there, so I'm good.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I do know that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. When the Nazis started to deport the Jews, it wasn't just the Jews that ended up in the concentration camps. It was anybody else that they didn't like. People always remember the 6 million Jews that died in the Holocaust. But you have to also remember there was 4 million others that died too. Whether it was homosexuals or black people or anybody.
How many black people were living in Germany at the time?
There was definitely some.
When they made the mistake of moving to Germany.
But the point is that when you have a dictator that is using a demographic of people to point everybody's problem with, once they run out of, we already have these people rounded up, they have to continue to point their finger at somebody for people's problems because they're not there to solve the problems. And that's the thing that you have to realize with Trump and the Republican Party. None of their campaign are they offering to solve the problems of the people. All they're offering to do is to get rid of illegal immigrants, and somehow that's going to solve the problem. And so once they round those up, then somebody else has to become the problem. And it could be black people. It's not
black people are always going to be the problem, quote unquote.
Trump for a reason.
They're always going to blame us for anything.
Right. You are not in a protected group. So you can't just assume that you're going to be protected.
I mean, what are they going to do? Say all black people round up now? That ain't going to work.
They're saying all illegal immigrants are going to be round up. So why couldn't they say all black people are going to be round up?
Because they were rounded up for what?
And to be deported from the country.
He's not going to do that. I don't know why you think that Donald Trump is going to deport black people. That's crazy talk.
Why?
He's not going to do that.
Okay. How is deporting 11 million people not crazy?
It doesn't matter if it's not crazy or crazy. They're illegals. There's over 40 million illegals living in this country.
There's not 40 million illegal people living in this country.
Well, it's like 20 million or something. I don't
It's
know.
not 20 million. It's 11 million.
Okay then. So if it's 11 million illegals, how do you know they're illegal? How do you count an illegal if they're illegal?
Mistakes.
What do you mean mistakes?
That will get shifted out.
What do you mean mistakes? If you don't have a social security number, you're illegal.
That's not necessarily true.
How is that not necessarily? If you don't have a social, if you don't have history of family in this country, you can't be mistaken as illegal.
You can be legal in this country and not have a social security number.
No, you can't be legal in this country and not have a social security number.
Yes, you can.
Maybe you can have a tax ID.
You have a green
that's
card,
still-
you have a visa. There's people with
Yeah, but those are temporary. That's not something you can substantially say you've been living in this country your whole life and your family's been living in this country.
How would you know that illegals been living in this country their whole life and they're not here temporary? They don't have any papers.
Exactly. They don't have any papers. So that immediately puts you under the radar.
Right, so anybody's here that's under a green card or a visa, or any type of scenario where they look, Mexican, will be under scrutiny.
It will literally be.
And you also have to remember, the Republicans are coming after black people too. The black women that had their venture capital fund that was giving $20,000 to black women businesses got sued, and they wanted, they lost in court, and now they can't give out money specifically to black people. These things matter. Who elections matter. And if you don't vote, other side wins, and then you're crying about how you're losing all your rights. And then when the Democrats come in, it's too late. And they don't have enough power to actually do anything, and everybody points the finger at them because they didn't do anything. No, you should vote every single time. That's what the right did, and that's how they are able to gain power and pull the Republicans towards the right by continuing to vote no matter what. They can count those votes. Doesn't matter. They know what they're getting eventually out of it. So that's the argument. But I'll let you have your show, and I will bid thee adieu.
Well, I'll take that in consideration and see what I can come up with to counter for later. If I can, if I can't, then I'll vote.
All right.
So, that was the argument. Interesting. So, we're going to review what he said. We're going to review everything. We're going to review some more things to kind of, and we're going much further than just, the election here. I mean, these are things, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to really run into. We could run into problems on both sides, Both sides we could run into huge problems with. But let's talk about this first. Trump's plan to deport 11 million undocumented immigrants. Says it's impossible. Well, is it? I mean, from that conversation, that person, whoever that was, made it seem like it was very possible and it's going to go extremely bad. Or it might be impossible, but he's still going to try to do it and it's going to go extremely bad. So it says here, according to a Tom Cover story based on 2 interviews with the former president and conversations with more than a dozen of his closet advisors, if reelected, one of Trump's key concerns is immigration and the southern border. Apart from reinstating policies from his first term, such as the Remain Mexico program for asylum seekers and Title 42, expelling migrants for health reasons without letting them apply for asylum. He will direct federal funding to resume construction of the border wall, which is that's dumb. That's so dumb. But I don't care about the border wall. I don't care. That's not doing nothing. Introduced several other measures. Among these initiatives, one particular plan Trump has merits and special attention. The Time article says the capstone of this program, advisors say, would be a massive deportation operation that will target millions of people. Trump made similar pledge in his first term, but he says plans to be more aggressive in a second. People need to be deported, says Tom Harmon, a top Trump advisor, acting head of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. No one should be off the table. Use the military to round up, put in camps, and deport more than 11 million undocumented immigrants. Weakest link problem. There is a saying that the chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and the weakest link in Trump's chain is thinking on immigration is precisely this plan to round up 11 million people. Here's why. First, deport criminals. Firstly, it's important to distinguish between immigrants who simply enter this country unlawfully or who have overstayed their period of authorization stay, and criminals. To be more specific, of the 11 million undocumented immigrants of the United States, about 1 million have committed some sort of criminal offense. Of those, 300,000 have committed felonies. This is a virtually no sympathy for immigrant felony, and even criminal aliens with lesser offenses are not viewed with great sympathy by the general public. Trump will have little opposition of deporting most of these immigrants, But assuming we exclude those immigrants from this discussion, that still leaves 10 million immigrants. How do we deal with the rest? Who are the rest? Let's look at them most closely. More than 60% of the 10 million undocumented immigrants, or some 6 million people, have lived in the United States for at least a decade. That's a long time. We're talking about immigrants who, apart from their immigration status, live normal, decent lives, who have families and jobs. And how do they have families and jobs if they're illegal and undocumented? This is the problem. This is the problem. There's 6 million jobs lost to Americans that's been living in this country, that's born in this country, or even legal immigrants. We don't even go to Americans. We go to legal immigrants that live in this country that have documents. They're taking their jobs from them. They're taking those jobs, and they're working under the table because they don't have any documents. So that means these companies that are employing these 6 million illegal immigrants, they need to be shut down and deported themselves. That's what that means. So don't come at me about some immigration and you're letting these companies just use them for work and everything. He's not going to deport this 6 million people because they probably work for the Hilton. They probably work for Trump Tower. They probably work for who knows what company, a restaurant, your favorite restaurant. They probably got some illegals back there. The fish markets, they got illegals in there. The warehouses, they got illegals in there. Like, how are they going to deport these people? I don't know. And if they do, so be it. That's not an issue that I am going to sit here and allow someone to rile me up to go into a voting booth and vote for someone who has no interest in my needs and my personal and my, environment where I'm at to better that. This doesn't bother me. Whether you deport them or not, doesn't bother me. For 10 years have been contributing to America through their work and taxes. They're paying taxes. So wait, they're paying taxes? So if they're paying taxes and they're paying into the system, and that system then turns around and gives them certain benefits for asylum seekers and health benefits and things like that, how does that even work? This whole thing is a debacle. This whole thing is a debacle. Because you got us regular citizens paying taxes, working our ass off, and we can't reap those benefits that they're getting, and they're allowed to still do it. This is crazy. Roughly 50% are Mexicans, many with close family or social cultural ties to America. Some 4 million of them are parents of children born in the United States. These are the cold hard facts about them. Do all such immigrants merit wholesale deportations? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say this, and it may sound effed up, but I don't care. I don't care if you're born in the United States. If your parents are from another country, you're getting deported too. I'm sorry. That should be. I'm not in total agreement. I don't care if you get deported or not. But if they're going to deport illegal immigrants, if they're going to do that, and you were born in this country with your parents who are undocumented, who committed a crime coming into this country illegally, then you should be deported too. I'm sorry. And I know it sounds horrible. I know it sounds bad, but think about it. If your parents get deported, if all the illegal parents get deported, what's going to happen to all the kids? They just go to foster homes? They ain't going to get adopted. Some like what? What are they supposed to do? Find a job and work? What if you're 12? What if you're 10? What if you're 9 years old? What if you're a baby? They should be deported too with their parents. They should all be taken to safely. I'm not with definitely not with no camps and all of that. Just put them on a bus. You put them on buses here and bring them all around here and ship them all around the United States. Why can't you put them back on that same bus and ship them back to Mexico? Over 50% are Mexicans. And we'll get into that too, about Mexicans, having some sort of connection to this country through history or through family. We'll get into that. Past massive deportation efforts failed, of course. Presidents have tried to deport unlawful immigrants from the USA. None of them came anywhere close to expelling as many as Trump is proposing. Not even President Eisenhower, who implemented Operation Wetback, which is so freaking crazy. Operation Wetback. That is crazy to call it that. Came close to what Trump is proposing. A re-elected President Trump will soon discover that the task of removing undocumented immigrants is more difficult than it seems. Constitutional rights to consider. Even undocumented immigrants have a certain constitutional right, particularly those who have been here for long periods of time. For example, long-term non-citizens are entitled to the right to counsel, albeit at their own expense. They are also protected by at least the 5th and 14th Amendment rights to due process. These immigrants also have other legal protections. These constitutional rights mean that to remove illegal immigrants from America will require legal hearings in courtrooms. In addition to considering the rights of the defendants, this will create a logistical nightmare, tying up the courts from dealing with other substantive issues. Judges, prosecutors, defense counsels, as well as the persons concerned with all of the coordinate of their calendars to schedule mutually agreeable dates for hearings before illegal immigrants could be deported. If you multiply this by some millions of cases, you have a better idea of why legally removing these immigrants from America is going to take a long time and be very, very expensive. Not every country will accept U.S. deportees. Somehow, some way, they're going to have to. If they're from that country, what do you mean not every country would accept U.S.? They're going back to the country that they were originally from. They should accept them. Suppose, however, Trump was able to round these people up and overcome simply ignoring these constitutional protections. What then? There could be an even bigger problem to be faced. Not every country is ready to receive deported immigrants returning home from America. A Migration Policy Institute report indicated that America was not able to deport immigrants to many countries. As of mid-2020, it considered 13 countries and territories recalcitrant. All these countries. I ain't going to name all the countries. Furthermore, the Myanmar and Sierra Leone were publicly identified as being a risk of the classification. Add that to the previous years. The United States has imposed visa penalties against all these countries. Indeed, any review of any country name consideration of the likelihood will cooperate on this kind of massive effort suggests that it is possible that many as over 150 countries could at least at any moment refuse to accept the deportation of their nationals. So these countries can just say, hey, we don't want these people, which they're from your country. This is crazy. Biden seeks to establish a road to citizenship for these immigrants. Not everyone welcomes this approach. However, it is criticized for seeking to reward undocumented immigrants instead of punishing them for coming to the American country illegally. Some condemn Biden's approach is nothing less other than unmerited amnesty. So, yeah, I mean, both is unconstitutional, if you ask me. Both of what these presidents are trying to do is unconstitutional. You can't give a path to citizenship to someone who refused the first path to citizenship. They had a path to citizenship. They said, bump that. We're going to enter the country illegally. So how would you give them another path to citizenship when they already committed the illegal act of being here illegally in the first place? How are you going to do that? Explain that. So that's crazy. So I mean, what do y'all think? Y'all think this is a huge issue? I know it's a huge issue from the country, but I mean to you. Does the amount of immigrants in this country affect you in any kind of way? Has it affect you? What story do you have to tell of how illegal immigration has hindered the process of you finding a job, hindered the process of you getting somewhere? I'll give my personal experience. And it's not even just illegals. It's just, in general, immigrants in general, foreigners in general. A lot of foreigners, a lot of immigrants here, they do a lot of gatekeeping. And we're going to talk about that. Foreign gatekeep. It's probably what we should have discussed this video, but I think we're going to talk about that Thursday. We'll talk about these foreigners gatekeeping businesses like trucking, warehouse companies. They're gatekeeping certain jobs. When I say gatekeep, they won't hire you. They won't contract you out if you're born in the States. If you're from here, they will pretend like, oh, there's no opening. And I tried this out. I did this. I called a company. It was called, what's it called? What was the company called? I don't want to say the wrong company, and I'm not going to say the company, actually. Let me take that back. But I called a company for a contracting job for one of my trucks. And I wanted to get it on the road. I wanted to get it going. Called them. Everything was cool at first. They had a couple questions. I got to I was on the call for like 15 minutes answering questions. And, what size truck do you have? Are you owner operator? Do you got your DOT? All that stuff. And everything was good. And they asked one particular question where everything went south. And they asked me, how long have you been living in the States, in the country? I said, what do you mean? I've been here all my life. I've been here since I was born. I was born here. My family was born here. We're all, I'm American. I didn't, that's how I said it. And she asked two more questions, and then after that, she was like, "Oh, okay. Well, we'll give you a call back and let you know." And then hung up the phone. I was a little confused a minute. I was like, that question just didn't make any sense. Why? First of all, it's going to show how long I've been in the country when I send you my information. Why are you asking me that right now? That's something you got to ask right now? On the first phone call? You're going to see that when I send you my ID and my name, my background check. You're going to see all of that. Why does that got to be known now? Maybe you don't do those things because you only hire undocumented illegals, or you only hire foreigners who have work visas or green cards or something like. Who knows? But guess what? I called them back 2 days later, posing as another business, trying to get on. And when they got to that question, I said, yes, I've been here for 3 years. I try to make some type of foreign accent as the best I could, foreign English accent. And what do you know? Can you come in on Thursday and da-da-da? I'm like, oh, I see what this is. Y'all are gatekeeping certain jobs for your people. They come in his country legally or illegally, whatever. That's what you're doing. International gatekeeper. I don't think there's a I don't think there's a story on this that I can actually. Yeah. I don't think they have a story on this because it's just like it's like they don't want people to know. And it's like the country, our country, think about it. Our country is built off of slavery, right? So why would they want anyone knowing that they have illegal immigrants in this country working for dirt cheap or whatever they get, or working for, even if they're getting paid a good amount? But why would they want them? Why would they want people to know that? There's 11 million undocumented immigrants. I guarantee you, there's more if they're undocumented. What is like, what? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, man, what do y'all think? Is the illegal immigrants thing an issue? Is that something that's making you run to the polls? What about this? This was brought up about the grant program for black women businesses owners. This is during Biden's period, right? Yeah, June 3rd. Updated. So they have apparently they rejected the grants given to black women for opening businesses. Wow. A U.S. federal court of appeals panel suspended a venture capital firm grant program for black women business owners, ruling that a conservative group is likely to prevail in this lawsuit, claiming that the program is discriminatory. The ruling against the Atlanta-based Fearless Fund is another victory for conservative groups, waging a spiraling legal battle against corporate diversity programs that have targeted dozens of companies and government institutions. The case against the Fearless Fund was brought last year by the American Alliance for Equal Rights, a group led by Edward Bloom, the consecutive activist behind the Supreme Court case that ended affirmative action in college admissions. Do y'all hear what's going on? Do y'all see this? So you don't want affirmative action, which helped white women the most, and Asians didn't really help black women or black men much at all. In fact, made us compete harder against other black people and other minority, quote unquote, individuals. But now you don't even want people who are seeking entrepreneurship funding to even get an edge on that. They come from all angles to stop black people from doing any type of excelling. And then they call it equal rights. They call it American Alliance. So America is aligned against you. America is aligned against you, but you still wear your hair like this. Appreciate sister for coming out natural looking. And her too. Perm. I don't know what she got. Perm bun. You know. They're aligned against you. Bloom applauded the ruling, saying programs that exclude certain individuals because of their race, such as ones of the Fearless Fund has designed and implemented, are unjust and polarizing. Fearless Fund CEO and founder Ariane Simone said that the ruling was devastating for the organizations and the women it has invested in. The message these judges sent today is that diversity in corporate America, education, or anywhere else should not exist, she said in a statement. These judges bought what a small group of white men were selling. Alfonso David, Fearless Fund legal counsel who serves as the president and CEO of the Global Black Economic Forum, says all options were being evaluated to continue fighting the lawsuit. Well, this is the DC. When they do their funding programs, they understand that the laws and the stuff that is around what's on the books, you can't state this. Now, the thing about Hispanic to think about Pacific Islander, even Asian. This is not those aren't races. Those are places. Black is not a place. It's not. So you have to change this. Number one, you will have to change this from just being women. You have to say program for American minority. Minority is not a race. Now, when you do that, yes, you open up the floodgates for other minorities, other groups to come in and take. But again, when they do their programs, they have people inside the back office, inside the funding program, who discriminate amongst themselves. They don't put it out in the forefront and say, hey, this is only for black women. No, you got to apply first. You got to send the information first. And then when they, do the credit check and all of that, oh, you're denied. Oh, you're denied because of this. Oh, you're denied because of this. It's never because of your race. That's where they messed up at. And that's what the dominant society understands, and how to maneuver that playbook, because they're not going to put, funding for all white owners and white businesses. No, they're going to say, funding for small businesses, Oh, the qualifications. Oh, you got to have this credit score. You got to be living in this demographic. You got to be here for this amount of time. You got to have you got to have at least 1,000 assets worth over $1 million. Like, they won't go by race. They'll go by class, because they've allowed themselves to separate their race by class. White people have more wealth in this country than any other race. Therefore, as long as you stick to wealth and classism, you can pretty much weed out the rest of the races, because they're not even close. I think Asians are the closest one, and they're not even that close. There's not that many of them. The legal effort to dismantle workplace diversity programs has suffered its share of setbacks as well, reflecting polarized opinions among liberal and conservative judges on the issue. Last week, for example, a federal district judge in Ohio dismissed a lawsuit against the insurance company Progressive and fintech platform Hello Alice, challenging a program that offers grants to help black-owned small business, purchase commercial vehicles. Similar lawsuits have been dismissed against Amazon, Pfizer, and Starbucks. Wow. But it says it was dismissed. So that means it was allowed, right? Dismissed a lawsuit against the insurance company Progressive and fintech platform Hello Alice that offered grant. Okay, so they dismissed it. So that means that it was allowed to continue. The case against the Fearless Fund has been closely watched by civil rights groups, philanthropic organizations, organizations, employments, lawyers, and the venture capital industry as a bellwether for how the courts are viewing programs intended for the level playing field. Okay. They got their eye on it. For racial minorities and other groups that have been historically faced discrimination in businesses and workplaces. Who else have been historically discriminated against when it comes to starting business and having businesses? Because I'm sorry, I don't see any other groups that are being discriminated against in the fashion and the massive variety that black people have been faced with. Now, has there been discriminations to other groups? Of course. But they're still allowed to thrive. You still have your Chinatowns, your Jewish communities, which I don't even know they're a minority anymore. You still have your communities, Italian communities. You still have your Russian communities. Like, they have communities for every other group, and they're allowed to have their businesses and run their companies. Hispanics, which, you know, just we discussed that on Sunday or Saturday about Hispanics just becoming a race, or not really even being a race, but, you know, because there's black Hispanics, of course. But, you know, this is on par. This is crazy. The court ordered the Fearless Fund to expend its own Striver grants, which provides $20,000 to businesses that are majority owned by black women, for the remainder of the lawsuit that is being litigated in federal court in Atlanta. The ruling reversed a federal judge ruling last year that the contest should be allowed to continue because Blum's lawsuit was likely to fail. However, the grant contest has been suspended since October after a separate panel. That's crazy. That's crazy. So what do y'all think? This happened under Biden. The appeals court planning consists of 2 judges appointed by former President Trump and appointed by one federal former President Barack Obama. Rejected the fund's arguments that the grants are not contract but charitable donations protected by the First Amendment and right to free speech. The fact so 2 judges appointed by former Donald Trump and 1 appointed by Barack Obama. So you got two versus 1. Hold on. It says in a 2-1 ruling, the panel found, Oh wait, no. This was a ruling that Bloom was likely to prevail in his lawsuit, claiming the grant prevail. Okay. Wow. It says it violates this act. They're using the civil rights law in 18. They're using the laws that they made to free slaves and try to protect us against us now. Challenge equity policy as well as funding minority. Wow. Meant to protect formerly enslaved slave people or black people specifically from economic exclusion. But now American Alliance of Equal Rights, a group led by Edward Blum, who is challenging affirmative action and one is citing the section to go after a venture. See what happens? You see what happens when you want to be a part of a country that does not want you here. They are using the very same policies that was meant to protect us, to protect people, black people specifically, from economic exclusion, to now exclude you economically. When you're trying to catch yourselves up. We're trying to catch ourselves up. We don't have hardly any wealth in this country. We're 1% of the wealth owned in this country. And you're coming after these small businesses trying to make some money and suing them in the Supreme Court. Yo, this it's already over. Why should I vote? Make me vote, y'all. Make me vote. For what? When they're doing shit like this. Do you see this? Conservative activists have brought lawsuits against using conservative activists have brought lawsuits using the 1981 section against other companies and institutions, including company Progressive. Okay, but that one got dismissed. These cases are being monitored over racial considerations shift in the workplace following the U.S. Supreme Court June ruling ending affirmative action in college admissions. So Look at what they're doing with the laws that were meant to protect us, that we all fight for. The laws we fight for to try to move forward in this country, they turn around and use it against us. And say, no, it's discriminatory to only give money or to only help the people that have been discriminated against in this country since the beginning and even before this country was even, formed. That's crazy. Understand what the hell this is? And this isn't like something that you would just this isn't something that you would just like, you wouldn't sue anybody over this. You're suing this small company, this small funding program that's probably only giving money to maybe like a few black women businesses, probably like maybe 20. I'm sure they don't got millions of dollars to hand out. And you're suing them. They're just trying to get $20,000. That's crazy. That's sad. Know what that tells me? That they're more afraid than ever. You're more afraid than ever, sir. You are petrified that black people are going to excel in this country. The appeals also rejected the appeals panel also rejected the Fearless Fund contention that Bloom had no standing because the lawsuit was filed on behalf of 3 anonymous women who failed to demonstrate that they were ready and able to apply for the grant, or that they have been injured by not being to do so. Judge Robin Rosenbaum, an Obama appointee, disagreed in a blistering dissent. Likely the plaintiff's claims of harm to soccer players trying to win by flopping on a field faking entry. Rosenbaum said none of the plaintiffs demonstrated that they had real intention to apply for the grants, in which he called a cookie-cutter declaration, and that were threadbare and devoid of substance. Wow. So y'all talking, you harp on Trump so much, but here we have a appointed judge from from Obama, which Biden was the vice president at the time, saying, yeah, I disagree. So even Obama's appointed judge didn't want this fund giving out $20,000. Do you know how little $20,000 is? They won't even let them get $20,000. That's insane to me. That's so insane to me. That's like no money. $20,000 Mike can get you the first iteration of an app started. You could probably pay a developer maybe like $5,000 to $6,000 for just the basic functions of an app, and then maybe have a little bit left over from some other expenses you need for marketing and promotion. But $20,000 is going to be ate up in a company quick. I'm talking in a matter of a week or two. Quick. Whew. The court ruling wasn't surprising because of its conservative leaning and previous skepticism towards the argument presented by the Fearless Fund, said Davis Glasgow, executive director of the Meltzer Center for Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging to New York University School of Law. we're going to see some pro DEI outcomes in liberal circuits and anti DEI outcomes in conservative circuits. Glaxo said that he expects one of the lawsuits to land in the conservative dominated Supreme Court. Even so, he said it is unlikely that any one ruling could settle the legal debate over corporate DEI because of the complexity and wide-ranging programs and policies that fall under the category. The Strivers Grant Fund is one of the several programs run by the foundation arm of the Fearless Fund, which is founded to address the wide racial disparity in funding for business owners of women of color. Less than 1% of venture capital funding goes to business owned by Black and Hispanic women, according to the nonprofit advocacy group. Less than 1% of venture capital funding. They get no funding, and you run up in here and say, nah, you ain't getting even this little bit. They already get nothing. This is the highest level of envy, jealousy, whatever you want to call it. This is we're going to unpack this because we're going to keep unpacking this. We're not going to stop it. We're going to keep up to date with this story, y'all. We're going to keep up to date. The National Venture Capital Association and Trade Group, with hundreds of member VC firms, filed an amicus brief defending the Fearless Fund grant program as modest but important step toward creating equal opportunity in an industry that has historically excluded black people, not black women only, black people. It's excluded all black people. Only 2% of invested professionals in venture capital firms were black women in 2022. According to a study conducted every 2 years by Deloitte and Venture Forward, the nonprofit arm of the National Venture Capital Association, and the consulting firm Deloitte, I don't even know what is that. Just 1% of the investment partners were black women. According to the study, which surveyed 315 firms, 5,700 employees, representing $594.5 billion in assets under management. That's crazy. One 1% of investment partners were black women. How many were black men? I hate when they do that. Like, black men just don't exist. But in this statement, Bloom said our nation's civil rights laws do not permit racial distinctions because some groups are overrepresented in various endeavors while others are unrepresented. What? That doesn't make any sense. You literally just killed your own argument. They're underrepresented racially. There was a distinct effort to underrepresent black people as a whole by race. So you can't then turn and say, well, our nation's civil rights laws do not permit racial distinct. What? The civil rights laws were put in place so that there wasn't any discrimination. Wow. Philanthropic groups are also watching the case because of its possible implications for charitable giving. If legal decisions curtail people's ability to give in ways that align with their values or their experiences, is going to hurt not philanthropy and nonprofits, but to our own country as well. So essentially what they're saying is, if they allow this, then they should be able to allow white people to give themselves grants and purposely exclude any and everyone else, especially black people. But guess what? They do that anyway. But they just don't do it in plain sight. We got to do better, y'all. We can't, some of these things, you can't just do it in plain sight and give them all the ammo they need to then take it away from you. Because that's exactly what the Fearless Fund did. You were fearless and you said, hey, we're going to exclude everyone except black women, even exclude black men, and say, hey, y'all can't get this. Only these black women can. Which I have no issue with. I have no problem with. But when you're talking legality, when you're speaking in terms of going to the Supreme Court, you're going to run into that problem. You're definitely going to run into that problem. But yeah, I mean, did he convince me to vote? I'm going to say not really, because as fucked up as this may be, as fucked up as it may be, I think this was the right decision. I think it was. And I don't mind that they took away the fun. I don't mind it. I hate it for black women. I'm upset that y'all are upset about it. Or if you are upset about it, I feel you and I understand. But you also got to understand that if you allow this, then you open up the floodgates for them to just completely exclude you from everything else. If you want that little bitty 20 grand, you get that. That's all you get, because they're not gonna put any programs up for you, and they got all the wealth. So guess what? They're gonna use their wealth to oversaturate the market, and then they're gonna exclude you from that market. You're gonna be excluded from the market that is already oversaturated. So good luck with that. Make me vote. So what we had immigration. We had black people getting deported too with immigration, which I don't think is possible. And we had the fund for black women getting taken away. These Republicans are some diabolical motherfreakers now. But I'm not going to say that they're going to just run this country into the ground. I don't believe as of yet that my rights will be stripped if Donald Trump becomes president. I don't really believe that. I don't care or even want Donald Trump to be president. I didn't care or even want Biden to be president. So it's like I'm at a crossroads, people. Tell me, which way should I go? Do I vote? Do I not vote? What do I do? Let me know. Oh man. We're gonna move on to the next topic. We're gonna move to the next topic, y'all. Oh man, the goofy of the week, the goofy of the year, really. This couple adopted 5 black children and had them in a shed, locked up with no food, no water, for hours and hours and hours each day. Had them locked up like slaves. Goofies. Can I put their picture up? Where the picture up? Where the picture at? Where the picture at? This is a federal crime. This is a federal crime. Let's go. It says a West Virginia couple is being accused of adopting 5 black children, using them for labor as they were slaves, according to 17-count indictment. Jean Whitefeather and Donald Lance, 62, was gross negligence, child creating a substantial risk of death or serious bodily injury. Oh, they should get the whole book thrown at them. This couple appeared in court June 11th to face more charges, including human trafficking of a minor child, use of a minor child in forced labor, and child neglect, creating substantial risk of serious bodily injury or death. The indictment obtained, it alleges that human trafficking, human rights violations, use of forced labor. Human rights violations specific to the fact that those children were targeted because of their race and they were based. Where's the hate crime? Where's the hate crime charge at? Bring them in for hate crime charges. Bring them in for hate crime charges. Now, this is crazy, man. Ackers doubled with the couple's bond from $250,000 to $500,000 each. Okay, so they doubled the bond. Who says the bond at $250,000? Honestly, there should be no bond. There should be no bond. You shouldn't be allowed to come back out. You should be a slave right now. There should be no bond. You should be locked up, and they should make you work as a slave, as a prisoner. That's what your punishment should be right now. Whitefeather and Lance remain in the South Central jail after being booked. Okay, the trial is scheduled. So they're locked up right now. Okay, good. Keep them in there. $500K, up that to $1 million. Says when the Kanawha Sheriff County, and I went through West Virginia, y'all. Whoa, yo. We need to pull all our brothers, all our sisters, all our black brothers and sisters, pull them out of West Virginia, period. That is a horrible place to be black. Sorry. Virginia is extremely racist. They found 2 children locked inside of a barn. Wow. The deputies forced entry into the barn and discovered a teenage boy and girl inside of a 20 by 14 room. Imagine that. Imagine busting into a barn to find a boy and a girl stripped of their rights, stripped of their humanity. The children have no means to exit the barn on their own. No running water, no bathroom. They were obviously deprived of adequate hygiene care and food. During the June 11 arraignment, attorney called the... Let's see what the attorney said. Let's see what Mark plants. What did he plant? What did Mark plant? He called the barn where the 14-year-old and 6-year-old were found locked in a teenage clubhouse and said the whole situation was just a plain and simple misunderstanding as a key was in the sled. Why were they in the barn in the first place? And did they know that the key was there? Did they know? Why is there a key inside the shed? How can you? Can anybody show me how to use a key from inside of a door? The key lock is on the outside, you freaking idiot, man. Freaking idiot. It's locked from the outside. Duh. I was repulsed at the lack of a better term. Who responded to the barn, testified that a preliminary hearing, as soon as the door was open, the heat from the inside hit us. The smell, they had to break in, meaning that it was locked from the outside. They didn't lock themselves in the barn, people. This is crazy talk for his, imagine being a lawyer. Imagine being a lawyer and saying this BS. That's why I couldn't be a lawyer, because I'm not defending someone who I know is guilty. Like, we know you're guilty. I'm not defending you. I don't care how much you pay me. Or matter of fact, pay me. I'm gonna make you pay me the most. That's what I would do if I was a lawyer. I would make you pay me top dollar and retainer fees. Give me $50,000 to retainer. and I'll be your lawyer. And then I'll make you lose and watch you go to jail and laugh when you go to jail. That's what I would do to them. I will come as their lawyer. Oh, yeah, I'm going to fight for you. Yeah. And as soon as the trial hits, I don't have an answer for that. Nope. I don't know. I guess they did it. Guilty. I got the rope right here. Hang them both. Get my Uncle Ruckus on. At the couple's main residence, deputies found another small child locked inside an unprotected loft. What about him? What about the other child that was found? Why are these all? Why are they all locked up? If there was a key, what does this lawyer have to say about that? Huh? A plain and simple misunderstanding. But what about the other child? A small child, probably like 6, 7, no more. No caretakers, no guardians around, nothing. They arrived later and was so they probably went out, came back and like, oh shit, the cops is here, and got arrested. Oh my gosh. Wow. How did they adopt the children, man? This is sad. The ages of the adopted, like 6, 9, 11, 14. Yo, they are ruining these children's lives, man. This is sad, yo. These are the goofies of the year, man. Put them underneath the jail. Put them underneath it. Don't let them come up for air. I don't care. Throw food at them. Throw scraps of food at them. That's what they get to eat. Little scraps of food. Take a dump in the damn cell. I don't care. Make them eat shit. That's what they need to eat for the rest of their life. Want to damn lock up damn 5 children. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Whew. Man, sometimes like that's what I'm saying. Why vote when you have? There's always going to be stuff that's going to be bad and wrong. They're always going to blame us for it, and then you got stories like this, and nobody is saying anything. He's like nobody is coming out inflamed. No one is protesting. No one is running up the streets anymore. It's like George Floyd. After George Floyd, no one was triggered anymore. Like it's been a lot worse things happening than George Floyd, and no one's saying nothing. This is worse. Enslaving children. Because what if one of these children died in a hot shed and overheated, which is very likely and could have happened if those cops didn't come and rescue them. But if they would have died, do you think anyone would have cared? Do you think they would have cared? Because they would have definitely cared about this. If one of them would have if that 6-year-old couldn't stand that heat inside that barn and passed away, unfortunately lost his or her life, do you think anyone would bat an eye? Man, oh man. But that's why we do this here at Club Built Mogul. We bring you the stories. We bring you the trending stories. And we give you the real spill, man. Lock them up. Raise that bond to $1 billion. Keep them locked up. Don't let them out. Don't let them go nowhere. Don't let them go nowhere. Please. Well, you know. Man. Whew. Trying to keep my sanity here, man. Just trying to keep my sanity in this world that's just insane. How do you keep your sanity in an insane world? How do you do that? Well, One way you do that is you find you a partner, find you someone that loves you, cares about you, can listen to your problems, listen to everything, your solutions, and just support you in every way. Find you somebody. I've been looking for somebody. Um, I just recently got done with a pretty bad relationship, but you know, now that I'm single, I'm starting to see how toxic this dating culture is, y'all. I'm starting to see. And I got to tell you, we're not going to be able to go through all of this for the rest of this stream. We're approaching the end of the stream. But I do want to talk about it for a little bit because we went through a lot. And, I want to get off of those topics because they're just completely frustrating to me. If you want to talk about the make me vote topic and you want to make me vote, go ahead and put a comment under there. I'll get back to you. We'll talk about it. But as of right now, I'm done with that, man. We're gonna talk about this dating culture for a little bit before we head out. What are y'all experiences, man? I'm gonna tell you my experiences. I'm a bit different. I'm not your just go out and hold my shit around and try to sleep with every girl I can. Try to have 6, 7 girlfriends, 10 girlfriends at a time. I'm not that guy. I'm to myself. I'm an introvert. Don't really care for the dating scene. Don't really want to even be involved with it. I'm more of let it be natural. If we naturally click and we get along and we do that, then it's cool. But I'm not forcing anything. I'm not asking you out on no date, particularly a fancy date. We can go to a nice, bar. Probably not a bar. I don't even go to bars because I don't even drink. I don't drink. I don't like going to the club. You might catch me out, at a restaurant or, something like that. I don't do lounges. The best places that I can go and hang out and do stuff is the gym. Working out at the gym. Or like I said, a restaurant that I like to eat at. I like going to like Hickory Tavern and Longhorn Steakhouse, Olive Garden. I do that on a regular. I do lunch. I do breakfast. Those are the times to really catch me out. And I don't even really, make an announcement when I go. So I try to be as discreet as possible. So dating is just something that I don't think exists anymore in this country or in this culture. It's just, people are too entitled, way too entitled, and they don't want you to peel back that entitlement and see them for who they really are. They don't want you doing that. As soon as you try to do that, they're gone. They're off somewhere else because you broke them down to the bare essentials. And those essentials that are bare now, they don't know how to deal with that. Once you take out everything that you think makes you appealing, everything that you think makes you attractive, once you take that away, who are you? Who really are you? Do you love? Do you support me? Do you trust me? Are you going to let me lead you as the man in the relationship? I'm looking for a woman that can not only show herself to be put together and brought up, but also can put that same energy into me and support my dreams and goals as well. Because my dreams and goals are going to be aligned with hers. It's going to be aligned with hers. It's going to allow her dreams and goals to succeed and get better. So that's what I feel is going to really make a good relationship when you have a man and a woman that truly care for each other, truly like each other, but at the same time, their dreams and their goals are aligned with each other. But we're going to get into this topic more. I just wanted to kind of go through it because there's a lot of stuff going over the social media, a lot of topics, the bear versus the man, the passport bros, all of that. And it's like, it's a lot. It is toxic. And I didn't want to discuss it at first, but I had to bring it up. I had to talk about it because, I think it's going to potentially turn into a huge issue that I don't think we're going to be able to fix. So we got to do something with it now. And we got to have constructive conversations so that we can build ourselves up, not just in a relationship, but solely single. Because if you can't get your emotional health and your mental health and all of that together being single, how you going to do it in a couple? It's going to be harder because you're going to have to tend to her needs or tend to his needs while tending to your needs at the same time. And that usually doesn't go well. So we got to be very cautious of how we approach this. And we got to be smart about this, people. We got to be. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the stream. I appreciate all the viewers that jumped in and chimed in. I got a little crazy, but I had to say what I had to say. I had to make it known. So we're gonna do this again next week. We had a pretty good turnout, so we're gonna do it again next week. Make me vote. Make me vote. Come on, y'all. Come on. What is it? What is making you go to the polls and voting this year? Let me know. And let me go with you and join you. I wanna participate in the good act, the American act of voting and using my voice. But honestly, I just don't know if that voice means much anymore. Because these people are going to do what they want to do regardless. They're going to do what they want to do regardless. And honestly, if you want to know the truth, the president doesn't run the country. I'm going to just put it like that. The president doesn't run the country. It's not run by one entity. I think we all know that this country is ran by many entities with similar interests. Okay? And that train of thought going down that and those are facts. But we'll cover that another time. But yeah, man, make me vote. Club Built Mogul, we here. If you like the song at the beginning, we're going to end off with it. And we're going to, let's see here. We got some new subscribers. We're gonna get the new subscribers. We're gonna get everyone that's been tuning in. We're gonna get you something good. We're gonna reward you for it. Don't worry. I appreciate everyone that's subscribing. Make sure you subscribe. Follow the channel. And if you want to call in, there will be a link up on next chat where you can click. Excuse me, not next chat, but next video that you can click. And it will allow you to contact me, have a conversation. So I'm a neutral. I'm not in any position to try and sway someone or whatever. I want to hear you. I want to hear what you have to say. And we just have a conversation. It's like the one I had earlier. Appreciate anonymous caller. Appreciate you calling in. And everyone's anonymous. You don't have to say your name. You can say where you're from. You can, give whatever you want to give, but you don't have to give your name. We are anonymous here. We are building a new future. But yeah, appreciate for tuning in, y'all. It's been Built Mogul. It's been good. It's been Garrzann here. And We got this. We coming up. We coming up. We coming up. Yeah. Go ahead and like the video. Subscribe. Go to Still Collective. Get you a collection. Go to my K-Bar. Get you some nice natural soaps and skincare. Yeah. Caught you lying through your teeth. You know you ain't really about this, but you rapping on the beats. Yeah, them. All that. Opsa. I'm unveiling all the, and I'm exposing all the, no career. Hey. That was Toma. Hey. I was built for this. Built for this. Oh, get a grip. I'm too built for this. Look at the fishes. Seen it all as a built for this. Yeah, I'm built for this. Never told a soul. Gotta stay on code cause I'm built up from the cold. 100,000. 100 million. I was built for this shit. Built for this. We built for this, y'all. Club Built Mogul. Tune in on Thursday. We got more coming. Appreciate it. Garrzann out. We love you.